Hello and welcome to the Paper 2 support for the first question on the 2015 exam. Two main objectives really is to understand the structure of the question, and we're going to see how we apply knowledge from the course to help us. First of all, let's start by looking at the structure of this. It's an 8-mark question. It specifically is asking you to use the source. You've got to mention the source, you've also got to use your own knowledge, and you've also got to explain. So they're the three things they're looking for, and I've listed those below. Show your own knowledge, say how useful the source is, and how the source is not useful as well. So there's a bit of an icebergy question here, but the key tip really with source questions is to use knowledge and to balance the question out. So if it's asking how useful it is, equally say how not useful it is. So let's take a look. Here is the source. How useful is this in telling us about what the government is doing in the 19th century? So if we skim through this quite quickly, first of all, we work out that it's a speech by an MP in Parliament, and the date is 1832. Now, I know that cholera is a problem in 1832, so I'm going to want to draw upon that, and it equally mentions the nature of cholera there as well. So that is own knowledge, and that up here is where the source is referencing it as well. There is an element of talking about the fear brought about by cholera, and they're hoping that if we can investigate this further, that fear will start to die away. It talks about the impact that it's going to have economically on exporting trade, and therefore they need to investigate what's going on here. So it ends with, surely it is necessary to set up some inquiry to find out the exact character of the disease which has caused so much mischief. The mischief being that they're losing money on this. You could be cynical and you could say that by 1832 MPs still don't care about average people, but something is positively starting to happen because they're starting to inquire about what's causing the problem in the first place. So let's have a look at now how we apply this awareness of analysing a source to the question. Here's the example. Again, all of these examples I've written myself. There may be typos or spellings in them, and that's designed to be because I'm showing you how to write these things in time conditions. So I'm trying to do these in time. This first one starts off by showing the source is not very useful here because it is evidence of one member of Parliament asking for the government to look into the cause of cholera, so on. I then explain a little bit further about why it's not very useful. I then show, on the other hand, it is useful, so I've balanced that source. I've gone on to say why it is useful. And then I am categorically saying I know that at this time germ theory had not been published. This is showing my own knowledge. So I've done my one side of the argument, the other side of the argument, and own knowledge. And just neatly, I've added an overall at the end. So that is how I would attempt to do this particular question. Thank you and good luck.